All right. Well, here we are with Dixieland Doggers. These guys are professionals. These are the real deal. This redheaded dude here, I mean, he's got some bad jags. They raise some bad Patterdales, and I think they got some cur dog, don't y'all?
We got cur dog, we got a little hound, we got some stag hounds, we got some lurchers, hide terriers, jag terriers.
Just a one-stop
terriers.
shop.
We got your one and all needs, and they all need probably be culled.
They got they got rough dogs, loose dogs, catch dogs, backyard dogs, pat-looing dogs. They got it all. Yeah, they got it all. And I just want to this is Dennis. Dennis is from Los Angeles County. He's a big-time jag man. He's one of the best in the business, they say. He's got a nice little dog, Maya. Is it Maya? Misha. Yeah, Misha. Hey, I messed that up.
He had another one named Aldo. Aldo, yeah. And
we both messed it up.
Lost him last year.
3 weeks after the event.
Yeah, I lost him last year. He was a solid dog. Both of them are solid dogs. Dennis, tell us a little bit more about yourself and tell us, it's a different perspective than a lot of us guys. We're out in the country guys. Country boys, we can just go out the back door, throw the dogs on the ground and catch something. Where you live at, it's a little different. Yeah. Tell us about that, some of the stipulations and how you hunt, the terrain you hunt, the kind of environment you hunt, the game that you hunt, stuff like that. Give us a little background.
Well, I live in the high desert, so I tell people it's not a target-rich environment. Mostly jackrabbits, cottontails, coyotes, but I'll usually go up into the mountains in that national forest, so anywhere from 4,000 to 5,200 feet elevation.
Lord mercy, 400's too high for me.
Yeah. Well, I'm a hillbilly.
That's why
I always walk.
That's why your shape and my shape's a little different.
Well, I'm a hillbilly. I can do good in not real tall ones.
Like a fat mountain goat.
Yeah.
I'm out here to get my dogs on different, it's easier here, or there's more
game here.
It's easier.
It's dry ground.
Yeah.
It's dry ground. You hear about guys talking about dry ground lion hunting and all that.
Oh, yeah.
You got to have a dog with a better nose.
Man, it's like powder coming up. It's, right now, hopefully we get some rain, snow, something like that. But there's a lot of stuff out there.
Y'all deal with like wildfires and earthquakes and all that shit.
Yeah, mostly the fires.
I've been in California one time. I went to Sacramento. I've got some family lives in Sacramento and stuff, and there's hogs everywhere up there in Red Bluff, but they won't let people hunt. People don't. It's the animal lover, the Humane Society. They're all about. I walk around. We've done a little walk in the mornings. My family, they're those in shape type people. You know what I mean? And I went with them on a walk.
You're not in shape.
No,
you have a shape.
It's just not that shape.
we was walking some almond orchards, and I bet we seen 40 head of pigs, good hogs.
Damn.
And I was like, hey, do they let people catch these hogs? They're like, oh no, you cannot catch these hogs.
That's insane. They got to be causing a lot of damage.
Oh, they are. It looked like they just had the whole thing rooted up.
Daggone. And speaking of hogs and stuff, Dennis, how often are you on any kind of wild boar or anything in California?
Never. I don't have access to that. There are some.
Like you said, it's restricted.
Not far from where I live, maybe 40, 50 miles. There's a ranch up there, and they cater to people with good amount of money.
Yeah.
And you're not going to run the dogs on there. It's spot and stock. That's how people just, and more people seem to be happy with that. I could care less. Me, I'm less about the kill. I just want to watch. I'm all about putting my dogs
See the dogs
on the
to work.
And that's why I come out here. I tell people, I said, look, man, I don't even care about being the guy on the gun. I don't have to be the guy sticking the pig. I just want to put my dogs on the ground.
Let them work.
I can put my dogs down with just about anybody, and it hasn't been a problem to this point. And I just,
That's the difference in a dog owner and a dog man.
Develop. That's all I care about. Just
That's
put
right.
the dogs out.
Because they'll never develop if you don't expose them, and you want to set them up for success. If you're not in a target-rich environment, and you cast your dogs 100 days a year, and out of those 100 days a year, you're only on game 20 times. That's not a very good percentage. But so if you set them out here, like you said, and every time you cast them, you're on something.
Increases your percentage.
Yes.
And I've noticed this from where we live, from where me and Ed Barnes and all them boys live, to Texas. We come and hunt with Ronnie Creek one time.
Yeah.
The hogs where we don't have a whole lot of hogs where we live, and it's real hilly terrain, rocky terrain, but in our dog, you have to have a sure enough cast dog where we live. People catch hogs all kind of ways where we live, but for the most part, everybody runs a long range loose band dog where we live.
I got you.
You went to Texas, our dogs burn the woods up. And boys run them short range rough dogs. And I'm not saying it. I mean, people catch hogs in all types of ways, but our dogs done good here. But I've took our dogs to Louisiana before. They didn't do so hot.
Really? See, that's like
Different country.
Yeah, we go down. It's the terrain.
Yeah.
And we brought that up in some of our first podcasts. Is the difference? Like I can get a dog from Texas, buy a finished dog that is a badass jam up dog, bring him to Alabama in the mountains, in the hills, and the dog can be. He might be
mediocre.
Lost. It might take a little time for him to get going. But a lot of people want to cull him. Well, that dog wouldn't work for them and all that. No, that's not true. The terrain and the environment that you're hunting, the style of hunt is all, if you can't keep it exactly the same each time, true enough, dogs will adapt and adjust to have an increased performance level wherever they're at.
Oh, yeah.
But you got to give them a damn chance.
Give them some time to adjust.
Time is the biggest issue. Guys out there that are new to this stuff, you need to, time is what you got to do. If you're 18 years old, when you get 40 years old, you're going to say, oh, shit. I never thought I was going to live to be 40. But now I realize that if I'd have took a little more time on a lot of things, it would have had a different outcome.
Well, a friend of mine, Joe, he'd just come from California to Downsville to the band.
Yeah.
And he stopped at the house. He's from Monterey, California, right around Monterey. And he stopped at the house and he took his dogs. And his dogs, he hikes. And his dogs, they kind of a shorter range dog, but they got bottom. We go to a little place of mine.
There, right?
We go to a little place of mine back in the hills, redneck country. You don't want to be cruising around there if you ain't somebody. But we casted dogs, and our dog, we sitting in the truck, and he's like, aren't we going to go walking? Have you seen me lately? I'm not a walker.
Yeah.
I'm not much of a walker, runner, swimmer, jumper,
You're a talker, not a walker.
Yeah.
I run this thing good.
We sit on the tailgate and talk trash. And look, some guys, Rodney Bell, Grant Masterson, they cast all their dogs. We started hunting together. We did a lot of walk hunting. Had a lot of shorter range, real rough dogs. I just run and catch dogs. I mean, it's all the work. And then it took us a little while to figure out how to work them together. But boy, we put a recipe, and when we hunt together, we know how to hunt. Like I can't just bring my dogs and dump them on the ground with his and just say go. He can take his and get them started. If they start to stretch out and run, hey, I'll dump them hard dogs to them. We'll shut them down. It's a combination of time. That time and the experience. Mm-hmm. It's like, if used to I'd get frustrated. I was like, well, hell, I throwed all them dogs out there, and all of them didn't do the same thing. Well, no shit. They're all different dogs.
And like you're saying, like there's a guy that lives by us. His name's Clay Miniman, and man is known around where we live in a small area. He's known for having some of the best long range loose band dogs. They're used to now. He's kind of switching up to some shorter medium range dogs. They're still loose band dogs, but the man helped me out and sent me some dogs. I had a good puppy off of him. I sold to a friend. And like Tanner, a friend of mine that hunts with us every day, me and Ed, he's got some dogs off of Clay stuff and some of his own stuff he mixed in there a little bit. But predominantly a lot of the dogs around the house is doing good. And Clay originally got them from a man named Marc Lynch. Those dogs are long range loose. They have a hound influence in them with some cur.
Yeah.
Now I think there was a little stag through in there, but they're doing good. Once you got the stag down to about an eighth, and I think they had a little bird dog in them down to about an eighth.
I love a bird dog.
The bird dogs got drive. They got drive. They stay busy.
Exactly. They'll beat the bushes. And I've got really lucky in my time with them, and the ones that I've had one that was almost a 4-year-old dog when I got it. Never seen a pig, nothing. Put it out. First day, caught 3 hogs. It just stayed busy and ran. Of course, he probably ran his nose right up under their ass. But after that, it was like, okay, now I know what I'm doing. Or, know what my game is anyway. And then he got better and better and better. Oh, big dog named Boomer. The guy didn't want the dog, English pointer, big monster. I got two blackmouth curs, and the guy said, look, if you're going to get them, he said, if you're going to get them buck-tooth curs there, he said, you got to take the bird dog. I said, I don't want the bird dog. And guess what? I gave the damn cur dogs away and kept the bird dog. So that just goes to, like you said, the recipe that you put in, you can have a dog that's mediocre, and you can have one that's high performance. You can breed them, and you can get the best of both worlds or the worst.
Well, and like with Clay, and everybody's different. I mean, I know how Clay bred dogs. Clay had a gyp that he originally got from Marc, Moody. She was plotting cur. I think she was over half clawed.
Yeah.
But long-eared, saddleback, brindle legs, and I'm telling you, dump her out, she going.
Going.
3
Keeping
miles. She'd catch 3 or 4 miles. Just straight
Just keep-
line.
yeah.
She hit a track, she'd run around. She had all the bottom in the world. But when he started breeding those dogs, he had his brother Blake met him, and we started breeding them dogs, or he started breeding them dogs with stag in it and a bird dog and stuff. We're talking about make a heck of a cross because me and Ed Barnes took a dog, Bones, that
Ed Barnes, Hog Dog Nation podcast.
Tuskers Magazine.
Check it out,
dog.
baby. I'm talking about bar knife making son of a yes he is. Y'all got to check it out. Anyway, keep on, Coach.
But we took this dog, Bones, and I bought a dog off an undesirable around the house.
Got to throw them in there.
And it was half plot in Catahoula, and we bred old Bones to her, and she had a litter of puppies, and I kept one of them, and I named him Crackhead.
Crackhead.
But I'm telling you, old Crackhead, you can ask Ed Barnes.
Yeah.
You can ask Ed Barnes the third time we took old Crackhead to the woods. Him and Bones went 2.9 miles and bait up in a pond on a 40-pounder, a loose bait of 40-pounder in a pond.
That's a bay dog.
Yeah,
So a bay dog. Cody Odom out there in Georgia, owner of Halo, 2020 world champion.
Call him Afro.
Bad boy. He told me, he said, look, a bay dog's gonna bay. It don't matter what pen you're in, what wood you're in, what size hog it is, or what size piglet it is. He said, it'd bait a 5-pound shoat or a 500-pound monster. If it's a bay dog, it'll bay.
And that's a fact.
And like you just said, a 40-pound shoat, a lot of dogs ain't gonna bait. We're right here right now. We ain't even said nothing. Look, guys, I'm sorry. We're at the AHTA trials here in Tyler, Texas at the Boars Nest. And we talking about little dogs baying a 40-pound shoat. That shit ain't gonna happen here with all these jags. We got jag terriers out the ears. We got quite a few other little breeds that's out here.
Latterdales, crossed up. I mean,
Oh yeah.
best dog I ever owned come from Joey here in
Easy.
Astro. Oh,
Well, that was just for me. That's my brother-in-law Joe Deal. We got to throw old Joe Deal out there. Turn that toward that camera right there.
Astro, right there on that nameplate.
That dog stayed in there. He
Stayed in a hole, and he was in a hole that we couldn't really get to because there was a big cutout bank, you know. As we started digging, he started falling in on us. And it's not worth getting real hurt, you know what I mean? I love my dogs. I'll do anything for my dogs, but I'm not going to put myself in real danger.
You can't put your life in jeopardy.
Yeah.
You know, it's got to be some self-preservation there.
But the thing about Joey's dogs is they have an on and off switch. They have a brain. They're not just a reckless, mindless machine. I had that dog as a house dog. He'd sit in the house, sleep with you every night, take him out, cut him loose. He'd go 400 yards hunting varmints, hunting paw, whatever. He'd hunt anything. He'd kill rat. I have a picture on my phone or on my Facebook. I have to look at it. 21 rats.
You turned him on. He was started a little bit, but you set him up like they're talking about setting up for success. That's another success story. There's a brother to him here that ain't nowhere near turned on like he was. But he hasn't had the same opportunity.
Yeah,
But like we give him a little opportunity last night, he performed. He performed. He just needs to hone that skill, and that lies into where are you just gonna keep the dog on the chain, or you gonna work the dog?
Well, and with Astro, when I lived in South Louisiana, I just let him kind of run loose for a little while, and I'm telling you, he would come in every night with mud caked all over him, blood all over him.
Yeah.
He was hunting something, but there was skunks, possums, coons,
Just constant on the varmint stuff.
yeah, he was always doing that.
And a lot of us guys, like where I'm at, we've got the dog terriers, and I use mine on hogs. Which occasionally they'll trash and find a hog, but most of the time if there's no hog sign, nothing fresh for them to go to, they're going to kill whatever's there. They are little kill dogs. Dennis, chime in on this about your dogs. Like if you take and put them in sign, is there a certain thing that they prefer that you've noticed, or they just prefer to hunt?
Typically the one place I go is a big box canyon up there, and I'm walking the same, just to get them out, whatever. Misha knows there's certain areas.
She knows the areas of, yeah.
And we start getting up there. She knows where to cut the trail and go, and man, she always gets a race going up there. She'll be chasing something. Man, it's so steep and rough. It's probably fast game. Sometimes they do treat.
Yeah.
Out there, you're only allowed legally to hunt raccoon, gray fox, and pigs. So a lot of gray fox up there.
There you go.
Wink, wink.
Yeah, that's right.
Like I say, there are hogs around in certain areas. Don't have access to them. I just don't rub elbows in them circles, I reckon. But that's all cool because, I've been blessed and fortunate enough, with people out here that would kind of love to take me. I got hooked up big time in
Texas is
in
great.
Houston. I'll just give him a plug. The guy that owns East Texas Hog Doggers, and he's got a good crew of cur dogs.
East Texas Hog Doggers.
Yeah.
Jake Lasano, I think, isn't it?
He's been more than gracious to take me out 3 or 4 times down there with my dogs. Great host, and man, I owe a lot to him and Ty and all them guys that got me into that, But Cody, he hooked me up down here before we were down there.
Cody Fritz.
Yeah. So
Cody's a
back to
good
the
old
point though,
boy.
like my dogs, where we go, we walk. They generally stay within 100 yards or something, but when they smell something,
They're gone.
then they get out of town. But it's that dry.
Well, also
ground.
that's one way that you that's how you started hunting them.
Yeah.
And so that's the way
Yeah.
pretty much
And they're
train
not
right,
really
and
like
it works.
cast dogs.
It works for you.
But what I will say is last year when I was down here, like different country, man, we got down there, we went out at night on this lot. Man, we no sooner got in the woods down there, and man, the dogs were, Hollow and Misha were, they were just chomping to get off. As soon as we unsnapped them, they were gone.
Gone.
Yeah, there was stuff in the woods, and they did not hesitate. They were out of there, man.
Well, that's what you want. You want one that, like I said, and everybody's definition of range is different.
Oh, yeah.
Like I know some guys that dogs 800 to 1,000 yards are like, man, that dog is right under your feet. Most time that's houndsman. That's a houndsman deal.
That's a short off cast. In my opinion, that's a short off cast dog, and it can be a nuisance because a lot of dogs like we had. I mean, we have a lot of smaller properties on 500-600 acres, 800 acres, But in Oklahoma, if your dog gets on, if you have written permission on one property, if your dog gets on the neighboring property and the game warden happens to show up, you have one warning. You get one warning. The next time's a ticket, trespass ticket, but you get one warning.
You get trespassing for your dog being on his property?
If you got to retrieve your dog.
Yeah.
Well,
You can
they used to
retrieve
have
your
pursue
dog.
your hound law.
That's it.
They used to have pursue your hound law in Oklahoma. As long as you left your gun at the
You
fence.
can't take anything with you. Same thing in Alabama.
But I'm going to tell you something else. We talked to a game warden straight up and said, well, what do we do on a hog? Because a hog's a felony in Oklahoma to turn loose. If you get caught turning loose a wild hog, it's a felony.
Yep.
But if you take a gun over and kill something on somebody else's property,
Then it's the same thing.
It's the same deal. And we said, well, what do we do now? He said, well, I guess it's kind of you're damned if you do, damned if you don't. So they need to cut that gray area out.
There's a lot of gray area in all that. Like we was talking about with Alabama. Now Alabama is different.
Cut and dry.
They don't bullshit. There ain't no playing around. You get caught with a live piglet that weighs 3 pounds, it's $2,500. Know some guys, know several different guys. They've tried to get around it and all that stuff, and they tested the waters, and they got caught. You know what I'm talking about. Got your ass caught. Told you was going to. Anyway, but the whole state of Alabama is posted, regardless if you see a sign or not. You know that you don't own that property, so you're not supposed to be on it. But if your dogs go on another property, you can go retrieve your dog, and there's never really a big qualm about it because most people they're country folks, Southerners, and they're like, well, especially if you don't have a gun or a knife or anything with you, all you're doing is just going to get your dogs. We had some get out on us, went to a neighboring hunting club. A creek is what divides our property, and dogs got over there. We went to the gate. It was like, man, we're just going to walk in there and get the dogs. Dogs were caught. Well, lo and behold, here comes the president of the club. He pulls up. He's like, hey, what are you guys doing? We're like, dude, look, we're not trying to be shady about nothing. We tried to contact him that morning. He was like, man, go in there and kill that hog. Don't leave that son of a bitch alive. Kill him. And like, okay, well, wound up losing the catch. Dog we wound up killing the hog, but it was a long battle. But like I said, just being honest about it and asking permission. Mm-hmm. A lot of times you'll pick up property. Don't be sneaky about it. Sneak over there and shoot the hog or kill the hog and try to drag him out and not tell nobody. Because there's game cameras are everywhere now. Cellular game cameras. They know you're there.
Well, around the small town that I live in, Locust Grove and Peggs, that's where I'm from. My grandma's the youngest of 14 in Peggs, and Peggs probably has a population of about 300.
Yeah.
So my grandma's kin to everybody or knows everybody.
That's right.
And there's some big tracts of land over, like a friend of ours, Dale Barrington, Leon Adams, the Thompsons, Mike Moss, all these people. I've known my grandma forever. Mike Moss.
Shout out to
school
all
teacher.
those folks so we can hunt. I come visit.
Yeah, yeah. Stamp my stuff. But like those people, and I'm just straight up with people. Like some of them guys I hunt with, they're over there. What are we gonna do? I said, I'm going to get my stuff. I'm going to get my dog. I'm going to do something. But I'll try to contact them first. But if I don't contact them, people don't like me for that. But I'm going to go get my stuff.
It's also the preservation of your dog. I mean, if you're over there, say you're 100 yards across the creek where we're at, and them dogs are hanging on. You didn't intentionally send the dog in there. That's just where it happened. It's just what happened. So do you go in there, like you said, Alabama, you get caught releasing a hog, you're going to jail. You know. So what we typically do if it's in a scenario like that, we didn't have to wade in way over like that. We dispatch the hog. First we try to contact the landowner or club members or whoever, because we got a lot of hunting club stuff in Alabama. And then, we'll let them know, like, hey guys, this is what happened. Like I said, there's cell cameras everywhere now, and we've actually had the same scenario I was talking about a while ago. There's a guy in that club contacted a buddy. He was like, hey, was y'all over there hunting on my spot? Like, no, dude, the dogs got out and went over. Like, that look, we had the president of the club there, told us, give us the go-ahead, and we still wind up running back on our club. But like I said, people know you're there.
Oh, yeah.
There ain't really no hard sneaking around anymore.
Well, it's like Mike's place. Mike's backs up to a bluff on one side. He's got 300. Well, he's got 150 some, and he's got 150 some leased from my great uncle's family.
Yeah.
His wife's family, and we get over there one night, me and Ed and Tanner and a couple others, and we turn loose. And Pine Springs Ranch is backed up to it, and it's like 1,500 acres or something like that, 12 something, 15. But we get over there, and there's no fence in between Mike and Pine Springs. It's so rough. Pine Springs doesn't even run cattle. It's a deer hunting type deal. And Mike's got beat, but they don't really go in. It's so rough the cows really don't go in there. There's no fence. And we get over and they're bayed a mile in there, into the ranch, So we load up in the trucks and the fence is down, there's trails all through it. We drive right up in there, go get our dogs, and there's no posted signs, nothing, no fence. We get over there and we catch the hog, and as we're coming out, this guy pulls an AR and sticks it up in Ed's face, and he starts hollering and yelling, and Ed goes, hey, listen, man, we're just coming to get our stuff. If you want the hog, you can have the hog. He was trying to be nice to do. And he said, there's no posted signs, there's no fence. In Oklahoma, that's not trespassing.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Every state has different laws.
Yeah.
Make sure you check all your state and local laws before you do anything. Anything that we say on this podcast, YouTube channel, whatever we do, and it strictly involves us. This is not information to say, hey, this is what you can do. This is what we do.
Yeah, and after a little talking to this guy, after a little talking to that guy, he just said, all right, just go get your stuff and leave on, But and now I think Tanner has permission to hunt that place now. And he goes like that.
Yeah.
I have permission one spot. Tanner's got one next to it, and we just kind of try to relay.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That way, everybody's got put all your land together and stuff like that. Dennis, do you have any other people like where you're at that run any dogs? Really? I mean, whether they're terriers or not, I know you got terriers.
Used to be, when I first moved there was some guys that were running bear hounds and stuff before they made that illegal. And that was cool because
That's what I'm saying.
You go up to the national forest and, man, it was just...
Can you tell us a little bit about...
permission. I mean, it was just national forest.
Dennis, can you tell us a little bit about how the laws are just changing so fast where you live?
Yeah, for the good and the bad, if there's any good.
Is there any good?
But we hear...
The only good thing
all we hear is horror stories.
Horror stories?
Yeah, that's all we hear. It's like how bad California
Yeah,
is.
they just keep Xing everything out. Just keep taking things off the list that was a bummer. I guess about 5-6 years ago, they banned bear hunting with hounds.
Totally. See,
You can hunt bear like if you're deer. I think I don't even get a deer tag out there or nothing. Because if I'm taking,
I can't live without deer hunting something.
Oh, I'm a deer slayer. I'm not a deer hunter. I'm a deer murderer. If it's brown, it's down. You can ask Pat Lewing on that one.
September to January.
Really?
Or when gun season came around, I'd take it out. But
Yeah.
we had slugs over there, so slug gun. Or duck season came in, then I'd move around a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was always in a tree stand somewhere when it was posted. But I had a coon dog too. I had a black mountain cur. Never she never panned out or nothing. But you know, I had an English red tick. I had a couple walkers. They were good old dogs, man.
Yeah.
Straight cooners. You know, that was fun, man. That kind of, you know, took care of the dog hunting appetite that I still had. You know, then. You know, just my life, you know, with our travels and stuff just took us around. So we got back to California. I hooked up with some dudes, got to go bear hunting. The guys, they were some country boys originally from, one of them was originally from Arkansas.
Oh, hell.
I think I know this guy. I think he comes down to Earl's.
I don't know, man. This is probably 20 some odd years ago.
Oh,
And
he's from where you live?
they used to. No, they were out on the coast, so they had access to big ranches and everything.
Oh, okay.
But I got hooked up from a friend. They're like, because they always wanted someone with a bear tag. You be the guy on the trigger. Don't wear their tag because they want to keep running their dogs.
Exactly.
That makes sense because I get it.
I've asked about going on bear hunts. I was like, man,
They got
probably
some good ones
$2,000
out
or
there, too,
$3,000. You know, I'll get me a bear hunt. Man, I was out in Georgia. I was like, we were at plot days. Talked to a couple guys, a bunch of bear houndsmen. Like, hey guys, what would y'all charge me to take me bear hunts? Shit, nothing, man. Get you a tag and come on. You kids old enough to get a tag? I was like, what's going on? Now, this is just something, what's up? Am I going to get molested while I'm there? I don't want none of that shit.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
we're not in
No
on
free
that.
bear hunt now. But he said, no, man, like you just said, they don't have to use their tags.
They can keep
They're
running
not
their dogs.
they're not using you, but they're using you.
And that's fine, man.
They're running
Their dogs are getting to work out. And true enough, maybe they treat that big Bruin, 20+ inch skull, monstrosity, 500-pound black bear. They're probably going to do that one themselves.
Yeah.
But in the meantime, for people who've never got to do it, or guys that just like to
It's
go,
fun, man.
hey, you can go get your damn bear tag. You can go on a bear
I
hunt.
think the latest thing that got whacked off the list out there, which kind of course, is bobcats. And
Really?
a few years ago, you were still allowed to run them with dogs. I can't remember exactly when.
Yeah.
Then they axed that, and you could still hunt them. A bobcat tag was like $350, so I just bought my license. with
Jesus
bobcat tag.
Christ.
Yeah.
Yeah, hey, you get like, I don't
wait. There's more.
Come down,
It gets
Alabama.
better.
You get a $3.50 a kill.
So
I don't know how many you get in
last
Oklahoma.
year
I think it's
they-
20.
they
We don't
banned-
have to.
Or
They
what,
banned
2,
bobcat
something like
hunt altogether. I tell people,
Are you for real?
You can't even look at them.
For real. Holy
And they got,
smokes.
and I seen on the news a while back they had a coyote getting a toddler out of a backyard.
Yeah.
But you
There's
can't
always-
hunt them. You can't hunt them.
There's
But
always some kind of shit going on.
So between that and it's just one thing next, one thing next.
well, Dennis, no offense, but please keep your people in their state.
Yeah.
Don't be bringing them to
Hey,
my
he's coming to
state.
Texas.
Nobody listens to me, man.
He's coming to Texas.
You know that already.
We're going to move him down. I don't even know.
Yeah, don't bring him
Texas.
to Alabama.
No, you come to Alabama. Look.
People
Here's
are-
what'll happen. If you come to Alabama and you bring those dogs and you get to hunt like we get to hunt, first thing you're going to do is probably going to be a lot of touching yourself. And then your damn dog's going to have a heart attack. You might have a heart attack.
I'm gonna need new dogs because they're gonna.
Hey, it'll
die.
look. Them some bitches going to hunt. I'm talking about some get down there, keep going. Ain't no
It's about
stopping,
like
ain't no
Oklahoma.
backing up.
Well, and I'm gonna say this.
On Bobcats, all we do is call and say we killed 17 this week in this county. They'll send you a
Running them.
bunch of tags. They don't give a damn. How you kill them?
The
Take
one-
care of
one
their
thing I-
predators. They kill quail. Quail pop. Wild quail is
Is
gone.
almost eradicated
It's almost
everywhere.
eradicated.
The one other thing I was
Thank you
gonna add.
for the bobcat.
The last thing that
And
I was gonna
feral
add to
cat.
that is.
I'm gonna interrupt the shit out of
I
you.
was in the sporting goods store before I left, and there was a guy in there buying his license. And you guys are gonna kick out of this. You know how wild pigs are: non-native, invasive, destructive. You want to kill one in California? It's gonna cost you what, $25 for a tag, 25, 50, 20. Oh yeah, don't go thinking you're going pig hunting.
See, that's
or hog
ignorant.
hunting.
Look,
You
I'm
gotta
gonna tell you
stop by the
something.
how
place.
much damage do they cause? Now, Alabama, we got super strict on all our hog laws, but they're opening stuff back up. They're now
They're
all,
seeing their
all
folly in
67
their ways.
counties are populated. So now you can't transport a hog in populated county because it's already there. And I think that's going to the good side for the hog hunters. But like they took away, like we did not have a restriction at all. No season, no nothing. If it was caught, it was reduced to domestic livestock. It's your hog. You take it home, you feed it out, you do what you want to do with it. Then there was a couple of TV shows that came on. Everybody got the Pawpaw's Coon dog.
Ronnie. Thanks, Ronnie. Yeah.
But anyway, and after all that shit, then they started restricting. It wasn't just that. We started Started Alabama Hog Dog Hunters Association. It was the greatest thing and the worst thing because it's like, hey, they took notice. They're like, oh, we got a lot of hog hunters. Started restricting everything, and we couldn't hunt at night.
Y'all are daytime only, or you back to night
we
now?
couldn't hunt at night. Period. Then they gave us a nighttime season. From what is it?
It changes again. It's like May 6th to August 30th.
Okay, so summertime you can hunt dog and knife only. Don't get caught with a pistol or something.
Well, I'm gonna tell you right now, I've been hog hunting since I was in middle school, and I bet I've only went 15 times in the daylight.
Yeah, I was going to say hog hunting is a
nighttime
we
sport.
do a lot of daytime hunting if we take people out.
How come you can't carry a pistol or a handgun?
Because it's dog and knife only.
Well, see, like
That's the rules and regulations. It's dog and
we see, like in Oklahoma.
during the day you can, but at night you can't because I guess maybe spotlighters or somebody like that. But it's still a damn summertime.
In Oklahoma, and
California with a knife.
it's inhumane.
Dude,
Well, see, we have
hey,
one of those inhumane society, humane society people show up to our
I'll tell you
Lee
what,
George
it's
Memorial
all-
Bay that Tuskers put on an ODHA.
If you know where to put that knife.
Look, I'm
it's
telling you
all-
right now, I can take that somebody to put him right there behind that shoulder blade and rock him down, rock him like that. Done. I'm talking about quicker than if you shoot him. You shoot him, he's over there doing a dirt twerk over there. Pig man,
Crappie
dap.
flop.
There you go. Crappie flop, dirt twerk. That's old dap to you right
Y'all
there.
probably white perch type people.
Sockeye.
Sockeye. I used to hunt some sockeye.
Have you ever
Catch some sockeye.
You ever heard of sockeyes?
Never heard of them.
I don't know.
That's coon
White
ass.
perches. Crappie. You some of them bitch don't say no crappie. Say
My
crappie.
crappie flopping.
Yeah, come in them black crappies. How in the hell did we get over on crappie?
I don't know.
That's that Alabama
That's how-
Oklahoma shit over here.
Well,
Look,
see,
Dennis is like, okay, now Dennis
but, hey,
fishes like
you was
us
talking
some,
about
but-
you was talking about bringing a
Got white
pistol.
chocolate,
See, that's
talking about
why.
black crappie
All
over
right, now
here.
y'all guys see what we're talking about on our podcast. Look, this is what it is. It's just the information superhighway of a lot of bullshit.
Yeah,
You
we
know,
just
you're gonna learn a
constantly
little
passing it.
something, and we're gonna tell some hunting and fishing stories, and we're gonna have a great time.
Hey, I don't tell. I'm gonna use a famous Pat Lewing line. I don't tell a truth. I tell the truth. You know what I mean?
That's exactly right. Pat Louie, back down there to Hog Dog Nation podcast.
That's a Brindle Dog Mafia
Uncle
Trash
Pat.
Master Classic.
Listen, let me tell you something. When you see a brindle dog with Pat Louie, you can guarantee that some bitch is probably tied to a piece of paracord 550 rope.
or baling twine.
And 5 months old, and he's starting puppies with the puppy. And then somebody goes in there and lays down a bay that makes old Goose look like Goose. Randy, you know that damn puppy outbayed Goose. When you gonna get in?
I'm
there?
telling you, I'm a gorilla fan. I'm all about that. Gorilla.
Randy, you know I had to get
Chad
it started.
Cole.
Every time I get on here, I just met Randy, and I've been talking all kinds of stuff. Which I ain't personally, I haven't said anything. I just kind of pick it, like picking that scab, and it won't never heal up. Like we was out there, we done a podcast, and just a couple folks in Georgia, they were like talking about this dog, and well, this and that. I said, say it. They looked. I said, say his name. And they're like, go ahead and say the damn Goose. And all of them are like, yeah, Goose.
Goose egg.
Yeah, love
It's
it.
eggs. Goose eggs.
Love it. Oh, Pat said he gonna get a goose pregnant last weekend. Oh, Goose got pregnant with about $20-something thousand in a new Old South dog trailer with some Showtime dog feed down there at the damn hogband.com in Downsville, Louisiana, where you need to come on. Go check old Jake and them out on that. I like it.
I love Jake. Jake's a friend of mine. Good friend of mine.
Yeah.
Well, I'm gonna tell
gotta do
you.
something like that. You come there. You got Uncle Earl's.
The greatest show on
Yeah,
earth in a
Earl
hog
Loco.
dog nation or
Then you
hog
got-
dog, whatever Dixieland is.
Don't forget
Uncle Earl's.
Don't forget the East Coast. Don't forget.
Hey, Hickory
Mark
Crossing
Hickory
and what-
Crossing, Pistol Creek.
Yeah.
Broad Island. You got a bunch of them baked in there. A lot
See,
of them shut down right now.
and-
But they're gonna try to get them back up and kick and go.
They shut down from what? Laws passed or what?
All restrictions. It's bad, man. Like we got to talking about the difference in the hogs, the caliber of hogs, and man, we came out here and the hogs were different. They'll whoop a dog's ass and make it.
And manhunters.
I'm talking. Oh, they'll run you down. Ain't no 10 people in the pen over there.
Well, I'm telling you.
But like out there at Hickory, like I said, there's some great hogs there. I mean, you got butthead, machete. Them hogs have honestly, they put some of my dogs down for the count. I mean, never done nothing else because it was
See,
over.
I'm the least when it comes to experience because this is the only day.
Exactly. This is
I
all-
take that back. Back in '93, when I lived in Maryland, I came out here, I bought a blackmouth cur off a gentleman that lived south of here.
In 93?
92, 93, they had a...
What
back
band was
then,
that?
It was called a, it was a Catch and Tie.
Yeah, Catch and Tie.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that ain't happening.
That's what shut down the Alabama bay pen.
Yeah.
Alabama said, we're going to have a bay pen, and we're going to do this, we're going to do that, and turn the damn bulldog loose, and let's catch him like a dumbass.
That was with the
Thanks a lot.
Foundation Blackmouth Cur Breeders Association. or something
Oh,
like that.
Weatherford Bins.
Yeah.
Those old Weatherford
Now, those
Bins.
Weatherford
There you
bin
go.
dogs,
Well,
what are those right there? Go. Tell us something about
They're
those.
just the old foundation type, big yellow dogs. You know, big old
And
school
they're not
rough
little-
dogs.
They're not like
No.
small mountain cur size.
No, they're like
Big block
70
big curs.
pounds.
Yeah.
60, 70 pounds.
They're
But-
catch- they're catching bull.
and don't talk to Jimmy Jones when you want one of them. Talk to Jimmy Hill, because Jimmy Hill's the real man when it comes to the bay dogs.
Mr.
Jimmy
Jimmy
Jones, we're
Hill.
calling Jimmy Jones out.
Oh Lord. Look, I don't even know.
I like Jimmy Jones. He's a friend of mine, but every time I see him, I say, "What you doing, Jimmy Hill?" He gets madder than Hitler.
Now, I know Mr. Jimmy Hill. I've met him quite a few times. Met him here. Hell, he's come out there.
He just as nice as can be. Laid back,
Yes,
go
he is.
easy. He
And
just-
got some damn good yellow dogs.
He got some of the best.
Yeah, ain't no doubt about that. That's for sure.
And what I like about Jimmy's dogs, and this isn't, and I'm not saying anything bad about bay pen people or anything bad about woods people or whatever, but Jimmy Hill's dogs, they're a you can run them in the woods, you can run them in a bay pen. They're working dogs.
I've noticed that, like, we were out there with Jake and them last weekend, and we talked to a multitude of people. Now, you take Mr. Ricky Campbell.
Mr. Ricky Warren runs some of his
All
dogs.
right, now, so we can say his dogs, and like, now, like I said, I've known who Ricky was, and I've seen him on Facebook and a bunch of stuff like that, but I have never got to meet him, and I did, and I'm telling you, I'm
And
going
Big Mama,
to get, yes,
Big
sir.
Mama can cook,
And
bro.
that's the first thing he said, is like, if you don't think nobody can cook, that's the woman that can cook.
Like Big Mama
But
cook
I'm gonna
everything,
go-
make a shake, and then bury a dog and win a
I'm gonna get
perfect.
some of that stuff that they've got. You know, if he'll let me get some of it here in the next time they get a breeding going, and try it, because it's, you know, you take them to the woods, they perform. And then
Put 'em in
I
a
want
bay
some
pen,
of
they
them quarter
perform,
pounders. He got some of them quarter pounders, what he calls them. Them old black and white looking dogs that look almost like a damn hand.
Pieballs.
Son, bitch, I'm talking about it. That dog, he wouldn't catch him, but he just had to hold his ear in his mouth real tight. Real tight. Rough.
He had hair.
I like it. I like it. But those guys, like you said, they're dual purpose stuff. And then there's a lot of them that they're not going to get your dog hurt.
No.
It's a money dog.
A lot of the real professionals, and I don't mean this in a bad way, but I'm saying a lot of the real professionals, they're bay pen only people. And I just want to reiterate this, and I'm not talking shit. I don't know if we can say that.
Yeah, we can say whatever the hell you want to say on our.
But what I'm saying is the hog baying came from hog hunting. Is a hog hunter sport first, and then it turned into baying.
It turned into bait.
It turned into all the old boys around there going saying, I got a better dog than you.
Yeah, I bet you $20 your dog.
I bet you got
And
some money.
then how does it sound when they get up there and you get up there and you want to start saying, well, my dog is better than yours? Well, I think, well, yeah, you do got a good dog, but how could I win some money off that dog? It's called a cow cutter.
Yeah, we're gonna hate.
And Kolby can tell you how a cow cutter goes.
And 100, another 100 and a half.
That's just like that. And then it goes from there, then somebody's over there running your shit up and all that stuff, and then maybe you...
Snotty.
It's Snotty Graves.
And then that-
GW son.
Right, Jaden Reynolds. Better
Yeah,
watch that
yes,
dude. He'll run something up when you got old Medusa laid up over petting on her.
Yeah. Oh, Jane was on the podcast last week. Oh, man, I don't know if I'm going to say nothing. Shit, couldn't get a word in edgewise. 19 people talking, me and Pat Lewin over there trying to talk. The next thing you know...
You could talk with Pat Lewin? You could say something with Pat Lewin in the same room.
Yeah, ain't nobody going to hear you, but yeah, you can say it.
Cuss! What you talking about, cuss?
That's what I'm talking about. What do you say? High fence, low fence, no fence?
Maybe behind no fence. Hey, me and Pat one time me and Pat went on a
It's a
deer hunting
philosophy
trip.
deal.
Me and Pat went on a deer hunting trip one time in
Him
Ingram.
and Jake's ass out there deer hunting right now, trashing on hogs.
Well, hey,
Oh, Zach Alford, you dirty, oh my Jesus.
that y'all run around with that ugly dude?
Hey, we're gonna have to put the bleep button on Jesus, because you know how that shit is now. You can say all kind of stuff, but you can't hardly say Jesus.
Well, I'm telling you, Zach's a good old boy. Jake's a good old boy. Pat's a friend of mine. He's a friend of mine. But Pat showed up at my house one time. He said, "Hey, He called me at 2 o'clock in the morning. Hey, I'm going on vacation. I'm an hour from your house. Where do you live? I said, I live in Fort Gibson at the time. I was living in Fort Gibson, Oklahoma. He said, I'll be here in a minute. I show up. He said, I done talked to Ed. We're going deer hunting.
Oh, shit.
So the next morning, we get up early in the morning. I shot an old coyote with his 6.5, just busted him. The next evening, I shot a doe, and then Pat finally killed him a big old 9-point, but he finally got one stalked out. Pat can shoot. Pat'll kill you. He shoots you. I didn't mean to say that. That come out. Pat'll shoot.
That's that incriminating evidence if we're going to stop him right there.
But I'm telling you, I've seen Pat.
Like beat, there's the damn bleep button.
I've seen Pat, and I don't remember exactly what model it is, but it's a single shot Winchester. It's like an early 60s model gun, I've seen him grow low a 1-inch. Dennis, listen, a 1-inch group, a 5-shot 1-inch group with open sights Winchester off of this portion. This is no line, no BS. Pat is a marksman, and he can shoot a recurve good.
I was going to say
Pat is good at whatever he can do, and he's ambidextrous.
You should see the damn deer that he's killed. He's like, yeah, I killed a few little deer. He said, he said, a couple of them about 200. 200, dude. And
is that body weight or antlers?
Antlers. Look, and we're talking public land with a recurve. He's like, he needs a little challenge. I think he's damn mentally challenged. Look,
he ain't ADHD. He's A through Z.
Yeah, exactly.
If you say like, hey, I ain't ADHD. I'm A through Z.
I learned a lot of shit from Pat over the last weekend, and I learned it. Look, here's a good little story. He got three dogs, brindle dogs. There was one real dark one, black pretty much. I said, boy, I went over, I told him, I said, boy, my son, I said, he's loving that little pup right there. He said, really? He said, oh, man. He said, that's the female. There's 2 males and a female. He said, he said, I want to keep that in breed too. He said, well, that's fine, it's his. I said, no, hell, I wouldn't want him on no dog. Hold on, I wouldn't. He said, no. We'll fix him up. He said, we'll fix him up. He said, let him get one of them males, though. I said, okay. And I told Nathan went over and talked to Pat. Pat told me, he said, look, man, take your dog, do whatever. So we're going to leave. We've been there all weekend, jumping in the Yukon. Nate's got this he got the smaller of the 2 males. Riding down the road, he's petting that little brindle dog, and he looked, he said, this is a female. I said, no shit. I was like, I thought the black one was the female. So we turned, I was like, look, we got to turn around and go back. We turn around and try to be, got to be straight shooting when you're doing dog deals.
Oh, yeah.
So we turned around and go back, and the little black was a female too. Pat didn't even know it was 2 damn females and 1 male. And we thought, and honestly, the guy said.
He had 3 of them, right?
He said, there's 2 males, 1 female. That's what we went off of.
Well, see,
and so we still wound up with a little female. He told Nathan, he said, and listen, this is the Pat Lite Hound Express. This little dog is 12, 13 weeks old.
I've seen these same dogs, I believe, at Lee George Memorial Bay.
All right,
as puppies, little puppies.
No, actually, these come from a guy in Arkansas.
Did you see the 3 puppies? Did you hear about them?
No, them little pups were bad. Look, this pup went from Arkansas to Louisiana, from Louisiana to Alabama, from Alabama back to Mississippi, from Mississippi to Alabama, from Alabama here to Texas. That's its first week with Dixie Dogs. Get you some of that. The old dog has an American Express Gold card. It's got a fuel rewards card. And it might have a green card. I mean, this son of a bitch.
You don't need those in this country.
Hey, this son of a bitch speaks Spanish. He speaks English. Hey, GW, that dog can talk to you, brother. And you know what I'm saying? So if you get you one in Pat Lite dog, and look, struck 4 times going 80 mile an hour down the road. But because of fire restrictions, we couldn't let him out because he's too damn hot. That's why we go.
He said, cuz, I'm going to burn the woods up. I'm going to tell you something.
Clayhound. Yeah. If you ain't running Clayhound, you ain't running no dry ground.
Well, if you ain't running dry ground, you ain't catching no hogs. You ain't catching nothing. But I'm going to tell you,
I talk shit like Pat does.
I'm gonna tell you two little stories.
I know Pat. Oh, he don't know Pat.
You gotta meet Pat. I'm gonna give you a story.
No, like this cat for real now. He ain't no bullshit.
Pat is a houndsman,
he's
a
a
dog
dog
man. He is a dog man. A
Yes.
lot of people
Like,
don't
I mean,
like
for
Pat.
real,
I'm gonna tell you, a lot of people don't like
It's
Pat.
because they're dumbasses.
It's because they can't take him. He's loud,
brutally honest, and like I said, he's loud. He's
obnoxious. But the dude knows dogs. He can.
I love him.
And I'm gonna tell you a famous Pat line: "You can't make chicken salad out of chicken shit."
That's
Toby.
a fact. I heard that 17 times.
But I'm gonna tell you, if there's a man that can do it, Pat Lewin can do it.
Like I said, he took a 5-month-old puppy down there, and he's starting dogs with this 5-month-old.
Well, we went to the Lee George.
Friend him on Facebook, Pat Lewin, Dennis Monahan from California.
I don't have any account on it.
He's a great guy. Look, if he don't, he's gonna private message you or something, so that way you can just, if he needs
Put it in his DM, direct message.
DM him, baby.
Sliding in.
DM him.
Slide them DMs, nigga.
Well, I'm gonna tell you, Pat showed up to the Lee George Memorial Bay with 3 12-week-old puppies, maybe 12 weeks. They was all baby puppies. Entered them in the puppy bay and the bay. And I'm talking you, whenever they was baying, them puppies would have their head up the side of the dog box. And they had a little plot influence or running hand or something in them. They had some ear on them. But I'm telling you, they was hanging their heads up the sides trying to bay. They was looking at the pen, baying, while the other dogs was baying, and they're babies. We put them in the pen that night, bay. We bayed them 5 minutes straight. These dogs didn't even hardly have a lookout, and they're this tall. They're little babies.
They're
So
puppies.
is it in the breeding? Or is it in the
Pat knows.
The handling.
Or a little
It's all of it.
It's a little bit of both.
You gotta have a handler, but
Exactly, it's that
you're only gonna do
recipe.
so much without,
Have you ever heard an older guy say, best way to train a puppy is give it to a 6-year-old kid? Give it the lead, to teach it, walk on the lead, to teach it to sit and all that stuff. That's Pat. He's a 6-year-old kid with a 60-year-old mentality with 50 years of dog knowledge.
You know how you train a hog dog? I'm going to give you some Pat Lewin quote. You know how you train a hog dog? You feed him hog tracks.
Feed him hog tracks.
told me that.
He said, you know how I raise it down? I feed him hog tracks.
I told him that Friday night. I said, you want to feed him? He said, what's that? I said, I feed him the most highest content I can get. He said, what, like protein? I said, no, tracks.
Yeah, that's what I
feed them tracks.
And I'm going to tell you, Pat Lewin sent me a dog one time called Little Betty.
I feel bad because I don't feed them near enough damn tracks. They're a little thin in the skin because they ain't getting the tracks put in.
Well, yeah, Little Betty come off of a dog that had a D head. Oh yeah, you starting to rhyme. You got
Look, we got a rap
got that
album.
rhythmical.
We got a rap album that's going to be coming out. I'm going to sit in a little bit. Like
What they
Young
gonna call
Cheesy
you?
or something like Young Sleazy or something like that.
Yeah,
Fat
Young
Greasy,
Sleazy, Fat Greasy.
Big Greasy, something like that.
Well, I'm telling you, man. One time, Pat, he called me. He's like, "Hey, man, we got the St. Jude's hunt coming up. St. Jude's, it's a fox penning trial, and I'll do anything. I'll go to fox penning trials, bays.
Pat's heart's as big as Texas.
He'll do anything. He'll donate money. He'll donate guns. Well, I mean, whatever he's got to do, he's going to do it. But we went to the St. Jude's
Jake
hunt.
ain't bad.
But I'm going to tell you, there's a lot of haters around where Pat lives because Pat said, I can't run these dogs under my name because I won't win. I know for a fact I won't win. He said, so we run them under. I think he got second and third out of it.
Yeah.
It's a lot of political stuff. But then when you get down to it, we went deer hunting the next day, run deer hounds. He said, now I'm going to tell you, Kolby, straight up, these dogs, they might run. They might run a little trash. So I'm sitting on this old trail, and right there I see old Red Fox Cross on me. And I hear them dogs burning him up. Patch is running first and second. He had some old blue. They looked English and red and running down across. Yeah. They was burning him up. And I'm telling you, I've watched these dogs in his pen run 16 mile an hour, 4 hours. And that's hard to do.
16 mile an hour.
And where he lives is thick.
If you don't know what that is, it's a whole nother level.
You with the best of the best. There was a guy, I call him Hummingbird, but I ain't gonna say any name, but one time he told us at Earl's, he said, well, I got a leopard dog that'll run 19 miles an hour. And I said, well, just bring him on, we'll make a bet. Because you can take Pat's dogs where we live, and you will burn them up. But I don't know what it is about them. Their feet can't keep up where we're at because the rock, it's all flip rock.
It's a little different.
But
the terrain, the terrain plays into every aspect of
ours
hounds.
is more open hardwood, but it's up and down.
Yeah, it's up and down.
Where he's at, it's You can't walk from
No,
me
it's
to you.
thick. It's thick. Yeah,
Green bars.
Yeah, it's thick. And see, and that's the bad thing about where we're at, because we got take those two worlds and combine them. It's thick as 9 kinds of hell, and then it's up and down.
Well, everybody in Alabama does it better.
I ain't said all that
No.
shit. Oh, Lord, let me tell you something. You bring them ragged ass dogs I had a dog. Brought my brother, Joe Deal, your dog ain't worth a damn. Brought him out here, old Ben, got the best nose on any dog we've ever had on the yard in all these years, and hundreds of dogs. This son of a bitch looked like he was driving at Talladega, left hand turn in a circle. Everybody's like, what happened? I said, I don't know, it ain't my dog, it's my brother-in-law's dog. I blame it on him. Hey, shout out to Joe Deal, my sister Mimi.
Hey, I'm ready for that breeding to happen.
I haven't
What,
seen
we
Mimi
all's
in
waiting
years.
around.
Well, that's when I was telling you about the daughter. Yeah, my niece Katie. Y'all keep her in your prayers and thoughts. She's got some health issues going on right now. She just turned 18 years old. She's battling cancer, and she will whoop the shit out of cancer. I promise you that. That girl is born and bred and raised game as it gets, and ain't no backup in it. You understand? Cancer ain't gonna whoop a damn thing on this bunch. You hear me, Katie? I love you. And, you know, that's just how it is. We just wanted to give a little shout out there for a second, but Kolby had to take a piss break.
You did?
I think so. He's always pissed. As soon as he gets back here, I'm gonna take a piss break.
You need to gear up one of your episodes now. Since I have never met this guy, Pat.
Yeah. I tell you, so it's crazy.
Get the real Pat in this chair and get Pat
Oh, yeah.
2.0 in that chair. I think you're going to have something there, man.
Well, and see, that's the thing about the podcast that we're doing. We started out, man, it was hard for me to do because now I talk, but it was like I'm sitting here by myself, and then it was just me and Nate, and we're trying to just give basic information to a bunch of young people who are just starting, or not even young people, but newcomers.
Well, those
Trying to
help me
steer-
out because, like I say, I fed off of that because, like I say,
Yeah, and you
at my age,
you were one of our big, you know, like you watched all of them.
Yeah.
You know, you would see me like,
'Cause
hey,
I've
I
been
liked
messing
that
with-
episode.
like I started messing with dogs, like I started hunting in Hawaii, fish
Yeah.
hunting up there. That's some rough country, but it's awesome, man.
Man, I've heard.
And I started when I was like 29 years old. Then I went to the East Coast. And so
Yeah.
there was a big span of time where I didn't get to hunt. Then, you know, coon hunted. So that was cool. Got to do that for about 8 or 9 years. Then got out of that. Then we moved back to California.
Now you're
And I
doing all
didn't do
kinds of
nothing for
stuff.
probably 17, 18 years. And I stumbled across them Jags, man. I was,
Well, they just
I
ruined your life.
Yeah. And now, you know, that's what got me back into it.
And
you
you're in
know?
the best shape of your life. You chasing them little bastards around like that. We all know
instead
how
of
that
sitting on
is.
bar stools being a drunk and all that stuff.
That's right. Hey, look, this you don't do nothing. Dennis used to drink beer with me all the time. We was out here. We drank a lot.
I drank for 40 years.
We drank a lot of damn beers out here, and he had whooped cancer's ass.
Cancer
He
got me.
whooped the shit out of cancer. Wasn't no playing around.
Had 3 years. I
He
just had my
didn't
3-year
even miss a
anniversary.
beat. He didn't even miss a beat, man. No problem. He didn't even know he had it. I was like, "What's wrong with you? Why you being lazy?" He said, "Well, I had cancer." I was like, "Oh shit, I'm sorry, bud." You
Yeah,
know.
they cut me down, but you know,
But it got
saved by the grace of God.
That's
man.
right. Got them Jags.
You
Got them Jags.
gotta
Walk,
keep
made them
swinging.
walk.
So all you gotta do is keep swinging.
Them trashy ass Jags was catching armadillos and possums for 72 miles, and then it's just a hike. Kept on
You know
going.
what?
Y'all keep it going. I got to take a break.
I just like turning them out, letting them run whatever. If I catch them on a deer, man, I'm gonna let them have some lightning a little bit. I'm not gonna have
Well,
that,
see,
but you know, zapped them off the stock and stuff like that. But you know, the other day she was under that trailer for a half hour with her head in a hole, messing with that stupid armadillo. But we were engaged in some other activities, you know, wrangling some hogs over in another pasture and stuff. So I was like, we'll get to that when we get to it. You know, so, you know, they're not 100%, you know, like I've had, like them coon dogs I had, straight coon, man, they'd run through a herd in here, and that was it. They wouldn't mess with nothing, you know.
And I'm gonna
That was
reiterate.
pretty cool. That was fun. I like that too. Hey, don't get me wrong. I'm getting older too, man. If I had some flat ground and a good coon population, I'd probably get me just a good straight coon dog. Now, something I wouldn't ask
Good
you,
hound.
'cause I heard out in your guys' country, you guys got some pretty fair bobcat dogs. Is that something you see a lot out there? Is cat hunting a pretty big deal?
Where we're at, not so much, but you get west of us,
Yeah,
about
in
a
that
couple
country.
hours, where it gets a little drier. Because Oklahoma, I mean, where me and Ed and all them guys live is in the foothills of the Ozark Mountains. There's 400 to 800 foot elevation change.
Yeah,
quite a bit. But what I'm saying is like you get over west of Tulsa, where it gets drier, flatter. It's a lot of cedar tree type, buckbrush type country, and it's rolling hills still, but it's small hill. You know what I mean? You can see a half mile.
Yeah, but the population of
Bobcats,
increases.
when you get out west of Keystone Lake or west of Tulsa, the bobcat population just shoots up.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna say, like you was talking about with straight hog dogs or straight coon dogs or straight whatever. A friend of mine, and I ain't gonna name any names, but he said, Kolby. He said, Kolby, I got a hog dog I'm gonna give you. And I said, all right. So he sends me this little dog, and they call this dog Little Betty. She was off a dog named Betty from Heavy D, and this is a friend of mine. And he said, "Now, Kolby, she will bump a deer. I'm gonna tell you right now, she'll bump a deer.
I respect the honesty, though.
Yeah. So we get out in the woods. Me and Ed and I had that young dog at the time. One of the best dogs I ever bred. His name's Crackhead. But
Little light reading there.
yeah.
Checking out the Turkey magazine. I ain't trying to jump in on y'all. Y'all keep going.
But like Little Betty, we turned Little Betty loose on a Granville Bates, a friend of mine owns some land down the road. And he's one of the old tough man's runner. But anyway, we get there and we turn loose on the track. Sure enough, she goes to burning something down. We thought she was there's some hogs on, fresh hogs on there. We turn loose and open as it could be, just burning something up.
Right back.
She wasn't real fast, but she was steady. You know what I mean? She was she wasn't.
Yeah.
She was a 10-mile-an-hour dog. That was it at the best. 10 mile an hour, but she would be there 12 hours.
And a lot of people don't realize what a 10-mile-an-hour dog
That's
is.
still a good dog.
That's a good dog.
And 8 to 10, she was running all night. Though. I mean, you could run her 12 hours, but just burning something up. And you know where we live at, deer dog, and it ain't legal.
Yeah.
It ain't legal. But sure enough, we hear something hit a fence, and old Crackhead decides to grab this old doe by the ears.
Yeah, hang on with it.
And we're in the bottom of a holler. I mean, it's a drop off, pretty good one. And from where we was at, it sounded like a hog. Mm-hmm. It says, cut that bulldog.
We've had this. Hey, it's
And sure
happened.
enough, it's the only time I've ever seen it in my life. But we caught a damn doe with a bulldog.
Yeah.
Broke him off, turned her loose.
Yeah, we've had that happen. I had we were Mississippi hunting. Buddy of mine's place, Mr. Tim. This guy's as good as gold. They ain't nothing better. Man, we go over and hunt with him, and this little dog Jaeger went out there one day, went to bait a little bit, and Jaeger get a little rough around the edges from time to time. He's a big old jag. I mean, he's like Dixieland size, but broad. He's a night hunt kennel. I mean, he's a nice dog. But anyway, he grabbed a hold of a little, about a half grown, about a little more than a yearling. That something good, and the way it sounded like a pig. Boy, all them young dogs, bird bulls, and all of them was gone. I had one old bird dog. Here she come back. Her name was Mocha. Come over there and she sat down and looked at me. I said, "Hey boys, get it, go." Like what? I said, "That's a deer." What? I said, "That dog will not
She
touch
snitched him
a
out.
deer." I said, "That dog will not touch a deer." And that son of a bitch come back. Sure enough, this little old deer. We had to do what we had to do with it. And but sometimes it just happens. I wonder how many times that's happened in the hog hunting world, where you had hog dog catch something.
Catch a deer.
Not just a deer, but I mean like a cow or whatever. It happens, but and it's a good thing that it's not expressed, that people don't say it. But here on what we do, on the content that we provide, it's the truth.
Well,
It ain't a truth, it's
the truth.
Right
An old friend of mine, Joe Etheridge, he's a coonhound breeder.
Exactly.
Well, he's a coonhound breeder around the house, and this is the only time I've ever seen a dog catch a deer besides that time. But they was running. He runs bear dogs and coon dogs. Got some of the best fast track black and tan dogs I've ever seen. They can compete with walkers. They can compete with all of it. They're not a pleasure hunting dog. They're a competition hunting style dog.
They're real.
And he had some young dogs catch a pretty good sized buck in the spring in Velvet over in the creek by Spavinal. And there used to be a video on YouTube called Deer Noodling. I'm telling you. And old Joe's about 80. Yeah. Joe's about 80 years old, and he goes, "I don't know how."
It's just was in a Rich Little, man, with his impersonation.
That's exactly right.
Hey, I'm getting good. I'm getting real good. But anyway, this
Longs on the microphone.
his hunting partner, he swims up there and catches it. This dog's caught on him. And swims him to the bank, and they're taking him. He says, "I don't know if this thing's recording or not." He's about 80 years old. I don't know if they finally get him, and they turn him loose. The deer was about wore out. I don't know. But he was wore out enough the old boy could catch him and walk him to the bank by his horns.
I heard that.
That black and tan burned him up.
Yeah. Kolby, I want to get into something else right quick before we wrap this episode up right here, or this little segment.
Are they calling for us at the bait?
That's what I was thinking to say. It ain't gonna be long. They're probably down there ready.
They
ain't started
They were
yet.
handing out awards already.
But well, they did on the first on the first
Single dog.
Yeah, on the one dog. How does this right here compare? And I know it's different and everything, but how does this little trial set up and mainly the baying part? How do you feel about this as opposed to competition base? The real deal base. I'm not saying that we're not real deal because we have some good hogs, we got
And
some
good
good dogs. But we judge it and we score it a little differently.
Yeah,
and that's because they're terriers. I mean, we're dealing with terriers here.
A terrier has a shorter attention span than a lot of them other dogs.
There ain't gonna be no 8
Yeah, there ain't. Yeah, they're gonna be catching, baying, or screwing off. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's just the way it's gonna be. They're a fast track type dog as long as and then they have a high prey drive. That's the thing I like about terriers. Are Astro, high prey drive dog. Something moves, he's on it.
Well,
But when
sound
stuff-
like a pretty good dog.
When stuff stopped moving, he was the calmest, coolest dog I had. But as soon as stuff started popping,
They're ready to go.
yeah, we butchered some tame hogs one time. As soon as somebody opened the gate up, and there he was inside there with a 400-pound tame hog caught on the ear.
They weigh 4 pounds.
Yeah.
Well, what do you weigh, you reckon? I mean,
Astro, honestly,
didn't weigh in.
cleaned out and everything. He was in shape. He was about a 15.6 to 16 pounds. So he fluctuated right there. And he was a bigger
nice
pack
head on him. I like that dog, man. His build was like.
and smart, intelligence.
Before I got the Jags, you guys know, we had pits for about 15 years, and they were like just the guard dogs around the house. They were our family pets. All the kids in the neighborhood loved them and played with them. And they ran the course 50 years. Canter died.
Yeah.
And we ran without dogs for like 6 months, and all the neighborhood feral cats decided, hey man, that's a great place to do our business. And I was like,
shit to your yard.
I was like, not up in here, man. And that's why I was looking for Jack
You looked
Russell.
at
There's guys in California, Patterdales. My money wasn't good.
Cali Catcher.
No one had litters. I'd like to say money.
You're not one of those Cali Catcher guys, are you? I'll call people out on here. I'm not scared.
I don't know the man. I used to speak to him on the phone a little bit.
I'm telling you, Dale Gill, and this guy's one of the best Patterdale breeders I
He's got a lot
know.
of dogs. That's what I know of. I don't know the man, but
I mean, he's been through. I don't know him personally, but I know I know some other people personally that do know him personally. That's had a lot of dealings with him, and it's always been good.
Yeah,
I'm not going to say everything been the greatest thing in the world and all that, blah, blah, blah. I don't know.
Joey Prawl never invite me to do this again.
Shit, yes, I will. You're going to be our damn left-hand man.
So I was looking for Battail, Jack Russell, any kind of just a smaller terrier, just a
Keep yourself out the yard. A high prey drive dog.
I just want, and that's all I wanted was a cat repellent.
There you go.
And then, but I've been aware of Jags since the '90s. I used to get Bull Cry and read them from cover to cover.
See.
Back before the internet came out and all that stuff. So I knew about Jags back then.
I didn't know this.
For the purists, and when I stumbled across them too, east of Dallas, in a town called Point, I had them in Craigslist. He gave me a deal, and I got Aldo and Misha.
Whatever the deal was, it don't make a shit.
No,
how much it was, they were great dogs. Aldo was a damn. Remember the first time he came here? First time he came out here, it's like they were like, they worked really good, but they were still kind of green to it. And shit, you were winning trophies. You were winning trophies no time.
The second time when I came back in
that's what I'm saying.
2019, I was like, what do you mean pay off? What's that?
Yeah, it's like,
They said, oh, you and another dog are going.
Yep.
I was like, all right.
And that just shows that, hey, and look.
I was unaware. I don't know what they're looking for when they're stored.
Exactly.
All I do is just store them in there
You're
for
putting
the
your dogs in
exposure.
there to work.
Yeah.
Dave
Man,
Williams,
I
he's got.
drive a long way just to.
Yeah, I mean, you're coming
Expose
from
my dogs to
California.
this stuff. That's the deal.
Like I
I want a
said,
lot of
it's
cats
weird
to come
because,
out here, man.
like Dave Williams, he's from South Dakota.
Yeah.
He's driving 18, 20 hours to get
Yeah.
down here. He's
Yeah.
won the band
Couple times.
2 or 3 different years with a dog that's never seen a damn hog.
And
that's because
that's a testament to the breed.
that's the breed. They're very versatile dogs. It's just what it is.
I'm gonna tell you, I worked with Dave Williams in North Dakota for a little bit with his brother.
South Dakota.
And
South Dakota, yeah.
I worked in North
He
Dakota.
worked in North
I worked in
Dakota.
Alexander, Whopper City, and Williston.
David's
But-
just got a bunch of kids in South
yeah,
Dakota. That's where he lives.
Williston.
His
David's
child-
got 19 brothers and sisters.
Yeah, he said he had a lot.
He has
was
11
ragging on-
biological, and
He was ragging on me
adopted.
for having 8 kids. I'm like, dude, that's only because I wasn't performing very well.
Yeah, I mean,
you
it's a
should've
man
seen
like
when I
me
was
to just.
really performing, you know.
If I found me a good woman, I could probably have 20 or 30.
Hey,
easy.
listen,
Or
speaking of
practice
which,
real hard.
we're looking for a BMW. You know, for Kolby. Big Mexican woman or something like that, or, big WW.
I'm Terrier. I was Uncle
If
Earl's
you ain't
most
200,
eligible.
he ain't getting under.
Yeah, well, I mean, you got to be too something to do something. I got a sickness for the thickness, you know.
Right on, baby. Look,
Down with the
on,
thickness.
on,
But I'm telling you, I mean, I was Uncle Earl's most eligible bachelor, and I am the Jag Terrier's most eligible bachelor.
Yes, he
I think.
is. Now, that's no doubt. He can cook. Great.
I can cook,
Kolby up on the auction
clean.
block with the females.
And I got 100, 100, give me another
100, 100,
Let's take it down to 50.
Can I get $5?
Sorry, man.
You gotta say, you gotta say.
I'll give you $3.
Some of them auctioneers are like James Mill. Oh, I'm gonna tell you the worst auctioneer, and I'm not talking crap about him, but the worst auctioneer I ever seen is Jake Lucano. He'll say, "Do I have $5? Do I have $5? Can I get $6? Can I get $10 on this goose dog? I wouldn't pay $5 for goose, but
Damn goose.
gorilla. I'm telling you, gorilla. Chad Caliper, we down.
I'm with you, Randy. I don't care what they say.
Yeah, we
The
ain't.
hype is real, brother. 14 damn runs, no mistakes, goose dooted tooted. What you think about that, Kolby?
Gorilla
Yeah.
been in about half as much stuff, and he still won almost as much money.
Can I get a cowboy? So y'all don't even
You
think
might have been
about
on that show, Cowboys, that Alabama Cowboy show. I think them guys. I think they earned their living in Chicago, Oklahoma, or somewhere.
Oklahoma. All right, look, get back to this Dave Williams stuff. Tell us about when you was out there with Dave.
I worked with him.
He's got amazing hair.
They call him Fabio. But I worked with him in North Dakota, and on the weekends, whoa, yeah, that sounded like some of that 36-inch talk.
Fucking Pete Leach's on now. You know, that's what the world's.
But what I'm saying
Doing
is
curls for the girls.
when we would get off weeks, we would get an off weekend every now and then. We would drive to South Dakota to David's house, and I stayed with him about a week after the job was over. Bruce will tree, he'll hunt. I mean,
Did you ever
he'll
get to
do it
hunt
all.
with Apollo? Bruce's daddy.
No.
I didn't get to hunt with. I mean, I was just around the dog quite a bit. I don't know if Bruce is there.
Bruce is the ugliest jag I've ever seen. But he's not a
his-
designer jag.
His head looks like a 3-gallon bucket on a stick.
With a fur on it, with a mop on it.
Yeah, I don't know what the hell you would call it, really. He's
Kind of like a
ugly
padoodle.
something. But you know what I'm saying? He's got hair kind of like Dave. He's got some big hair.
Are you saying they start to resemble each other?
He has
I
that
don't
attitude.
know, but I'm just saying, I know Bruce Apollo was a very similar looking dog, and Apollo was one of the baddest York Terriers I've ever seen. I mean, like a do-it-all dog.
You a jag man or a yog?
Yog.
I've heard nothing but
Jag.
I've heard nothing but good stuff about that Apollo dog. You know, I've heard.
I mean,
he
you go
was
out and
really
retrieve. You
good.
go out and shoot pheasants over him. He can retrieve.
Hey, and
pheasants,
I'm
then
gonna say
go
this
back
right
and
now.
Bring him down and win a hog bay against all the fucking jag hog dogs in Texas.
I'm gonna say this right now, Joey. I went and I hunted ruffed grouse, and sharp-tailed grouse with Bruce, and he retrieved both of them force fetch. He'll flush. I mean, he can do
That's
it
what
all.
I said. Bruce is really a top-notch dog. Like I said, I didn't hunt with either one of them, so I don't know what to make the comparison. Dave was supposed to record with us last night, but he got started drinking a little much, and it went from we was going to do a little beer time segment to well shit time, you know. So maybe we can get him on here before he goes back. If not, then we're gonna set up and do some stuff like Hog Dog Nation podcast does, where we do some some webcam stuff back and forth.
And I think we're starting to GoFundMe for getting a camper over to your house so I can go to work for Joey.
Yes, we are. We're gonna put Kolby
back
to work. I'm going to retire.
Well, I've been working for H&H Septic with Jack Buckenbulls.
Right on, H&H.
But now I'm back to. I'm trying to get out of the state of Oklahoma.
That's right. All right, guys, look here. We're going to wrap this up on this segment here. Coming to you live from the Boars Nest, Tyler, Texas, AHTA Trials, Paul Greenwood.
Museum.
We got the Dog Hunt and Horn Museum here. You need to stop by and see it if you're ever close. And if you're not close, put a little gas in the tank and put the little skinny pedal down to the floor and come on out here and see him. All right, we got quite a few people that we want to thank, man, but honestly, I don't know if I could sit down and just keep going and going and going. It'll take 20 minutes to thank everybody. Like I said, we got Paul Greenwood, James Mills, we got Ed Barnes, Tusker's Magazine. Hey, I'm gonna throw Seth Cobb out there just for being my damn friend. Dave Sidoti, get you some
He's
leashes
ugly,
like
though.
that. We got Kolby Ingram. Look,
Yeah,
Colby's in the
Kolby.
middle of
We got
everything. He
Kolby.
does a lot of announcing and stuff for us. He's doing real great. Charles and Amanda Cobb.
I
they're
keep
out
them on
there
their
with the
teeth.
Hogs.
Or on their feet, I
Was
mean.
it Jimmy Jones on some
The guys
hogs?
working the bay pen.
Jimmy Jones. Jimmy Jones ain't here.
Did he? No, somebody he sent some pictures.
That's
up
Jimmy
here.
Jones.
Yeah. Somebody sent some
Jimmy
pictures up here.
I thought it might have been Jimmy Hill.
It might be Jimmy Hill. Somebody, Mr. Jimmy, whoever Jimmy you are, you got some nice hogs out here. We appreciate you sending them.
I say the right clan for working the chutes and the gates.
Well, I like
Yeah.
Jimmy Jones, but all you got to do is say, "What are you doing, Jimmy Hill?" That sucker
Oh,
gets
he don't
somebody.
like you. I got you.
And
Well,
Jimmy Hill just said, "I just like having fun."
Yeah, and like Dennis said, thanks to the Dixie Dogger crew, the rest of them out there that's working the gates and the chutes and stuff, and we got the Texas Bush People guys out there. They're,
Yeah, we got
they're
the
in
bush
the pen.
people. If you've
They're
ever seen
working
Alaskan bush people, just look up Charles. Find Charles and Amanda.
good. Yeah, Miss Ruth.
Lane, I don't know
We got
what
a
the other
bunch of
boys,
we got
they
a bunch
some
of folks out there, man.
triplets
There's
or
so
something.
many.
Tallest
Tyler
to the tallest.
Good
Tyler
folks,
Sladen.
but
Tyler Sladen, and then we got the First Mate Dog Food. They donated a bunch of stuff for us for our prizes and stuff. It's great stuff. 3022. I mean, you need to check that out. Then we got all our sponsors for Dixie Doggers, dude. I mean, it's look, y'all already know who you are. You got Whitetails of America. You got Donnie Yates, DY Outdoors. We
Ed
got
Barnes Custom Knives.
yes, Ed Barnes.
Get
Look
your
at this
warrant.
bar maker folder right here.
It's a unit producer.
That's right.
So get you out of a bind, as James Mills
If
said.
you need a sack lunch, it'll get that for
It'll
you.
do it fast.
And then we got Lance Criswell. You know, we got him out there.
Ain't parking somewhere. He
Crockett
ain't here.
Taxidermy. John Van Note,
Jerry
All-American.
Bone.
Who
Jerry
else we
Bone
got,
makes
Nate?
knives.
Jesus, come on, tell me something else. Scent balls,
No, 100,
Who?
100.
Tacticam, yes. From Donnie. If you all your Tacticam needs, you holler at Donnie Yates. If you need some hound needs, you holler at John Van Note out there in Rincon, Georgia. He'll take care of you.
Holler
All
at
right,
Pat
guys.
Lewing. Pat Lewing will get you a dog. It
Pat
might not
Lewing
be
will
what you
put
want,
a
but it'll be all you want.
Dry ground hound in your hands if you ain't careful.
I might need that, dude. As long
Yeah.
as they don't go too deep. That's a
Yeah, now he won't go too deep because he ain't got that much money. All right, guys, this is
Sounds like
Joey.
it's right up my alley.
Dixie Doggers, we got here with Kolby, Dennis, and we out. This is Son of Mama. Yes, sir. Y'all have a good one. Thanks.
Peace.